Hello all and welcome to Kelly's Cooking on the Cheap. Tonight I am making salmon patties and I am taking the recipe out of this complete keto, but I am switching out some of the ingredients for regular and not doing it full keto. For one, I don't have the time. I haven't taken the time to make the breadcrumb part. I was just being busy the last couple days. But on the another thing that I've done, it calls for canned tuna or canned salmon. But anymore, if I can catch salmon marked down, which I did, and I'll show you the package here. And sorry, it's after I've taken it out. But normally the salmon for a 1 pound fillet is around $14 at Kroger. Got it marked down for $6 and change. So, and it goes for, the measurements are in grams. So, I measured it out. And it calls for 240 grams. Here's how much it is. And here's how much I have left from it. So I'm just going to make it all and have probably bigger patties. So, and instead of breadcrumbs, I just did saltines. And it called for, let's see, 50 grams, and it's about 3/4 of a cup of saltines. So, and then it calls for 30 grams of red onion. All I have is white onion. I'm just going to throw some in. So, let me grab the rest of the ingredients and we'll be back. Alright, before I forget, I do have my my potatoes in the Instant Pot cooking. Hopefully it works because I just noticed a minute ago that I'm missing a part. So I hope it turns out okay. It also calls for 2 eggs, and I've got them in here while I was getting the stuff. It calls for a tablespoon of mayo, or whichever kind you like. It takes a teaspoon of hot sauce. So I'm using the sweet and spicy sriracha just to give it a little sweetness to it. And some paprika and garlic powder. Garlic powder's a half it. Is it half or fourth? Half. So half, as well as half of the paprika. I can't talk tonight. Went back to work yesterday, and after having 12 days off, I'm pooped. Last night I went to bed about half an hour early. I'm done. Okay, oh, and also it takes a teaspoon of mustard. I feel like I'm making potato salad a little. Alright, I do have my pan heating, and let me go grab some. And now I'm just going to mix it all together and form my patties. And just remember, I did add extra salmon in it since it's fresh. I counted the amount of breadcrumbs as is to the recipe. And I've got the 2 eggs. We've had this before, and I've made it more to the keto recipe. And this should get you about 6 patties, depending on how big you make them. I would have probably done this on my griddle, but since I've got my Instant Pot over there, it's just easier to do it in the pan. Looks like I'll probably be able to get the 6. So I'm going to let these cook and check on my Instant Pot real quick. So we'll come back here in a couple and check on these. Alright, I'm back. I got the salmon patties turned over and they're looking pretty good. But I had to turn off my Instant Pot because it's not acting, it's being a pain. So I'm going to have to, instead of doing mashed potatoes tonight, I'm going to fry some potatoes. So come along with me, and got my pan heating, which I'm going to, got my bacon grease ready to go. Some onion. I got a plate for those so that way I could get the other 2 cooking. I gotta cut my taters. So, you always gotta work with what you got and don't have. I should have looked before I started it, but I didn't know till after. So, let me grab a potato and I'll get started cutting. Probably won't cook all of these tonight. I'll just do the bare minimum. Oh, that's a little too much. Alright, we'll go with that. These potatoes I got at, I think, Fresh Market over the weekend. They were on sale for like $2, so I say it's a win. Potatoes are warm, so hopefully that's a good thing. I'm dicing these up for diced instead of the sliced. How do you guys do your potatoes? Oh, and while I'm asking, I might just look at getting a new Instant Pot. You guys use them. What brand do you use? So let me get these in, start cooking, and we'll come back here in a couple with the progress. Alright, we're back. I got the last 2 patties in the stove, and I've got, I think I did about 3 potatoes in here, not all of them. I'm going to pepper them. I did add a little bit more bacon grease. That'll be my salt. The potatoes did get done a little, so like I said, I hope it helps with the cooking. Hopefully everybody's having a decent day. I'm just ready for Friday already. It hasn't been bad at work, thankfully. Just when you've been off, like I said, for 12 days. I was done yesterday. Alright, we'll come back here in a couple minutes. Again, check on the potatoes. And once these get done, I'll probably turn it to low. That way I can keep them warm. And I'm sure there'll be a couple left, maybe have for lunch or leftovers later in the week. So, stay tuned as I shake the camera. Alright, we're back finishing this up. They're all done. I made some peas like I normally had grown up if we had mashed potatoes. I'm disappointed, but this will work. So let me dish up and let you see a final plate. I did heat up some bread, the 2-hour crock pot bread I made over the weekend. I'll probably butter mine here before I go sit down. I overdid the potatoes just a tad. And some peas. And here's the final plate. I hope you've enjoyed this video. And if you like it, please like and share. And we'll see you soon. Have a good one.